Across a lot of fantasy websites last year, the player who was on the most fantasy championship teams was wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. In this fantasy face-off, we debate whether you can justify taking ODB at the end of the first round this year in fantasy drafts.
Still a little too high. Again, I love the potential, and this guy could go down, I think, as one of the best receivers in fantasy for the next 5 or 10 years. But for right now, I'm going to pass on him at the end of the first round. Again, I still like taking one of those quarterbacks late in round 1, so that would push Odell Beckham a little bit down my board. And then when you mention those other wideouts around him, Jordy Nelson, Demaryius Thomas, maybe even Julio Jones, those guys I think are more locks than Odell Beckham, who has battled injuries at LSU and now into his rookie season as well. So that scares me a little bit, and that's why I would wait till maybe the middle of the second round or even early in the second round before I take one of the game's most electrifying players.
Victor Cruz for the Giants is trying to come back from a very severe knee injury. That remains to be seen. It doesn't scare me, though, even if he does. Odell Beckham Jr., despite missing the first 4 games last year, still finished as the number 4 wide receiver in standard scoring last year. That's ridiculous. I will take him, especially if I'm in a keeper league. I'm rushing to the podium, but in a normal league, I will still justify taking Odell Beckham at the end of the first round and then getting another stud wide receiver maybe at the turn, or Andrew Luck, or a good running back like maybe LaShawn McCoy if he's still there on the board, or Matt Forte in the second round. So the upside is just too high for me. You're high on Megatron. I'm equally as high on Odell Beckham Jr.